What's going on, everybody? It's your girl, Krista B with WBLS, and I am here with the one and only Trinidad's own Naila Blackman. How are you feeling today?
I feel great. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for being with me today.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, of course. So I am a big fan of yours. I am not of Caribbean descent, although I just don't know yet. I have a coworker who always calls me Trini because he feels like I could be.
You
I could.
have that energy. That's why I asked
That's what you asked me
you.
earlier. Yeah. So I've been a big fan of yours. I feel like every concert that you've had, I've been waving and jumping and waving in front, because your energy is just so charismatic, and you just leave it out all on the stage. And I know that you come from musical royalty. So did you know, all right, because of my last name, I'm going to have to pursue music?
Well, no, but yes, because I think from a very young age, when you see something like all the time and everywhere you turn, that's what it is. You get this idea like, maybe I should try this, but then you don't know if you're gonna be great at it. And I think it's when I was like 12, I was like, nah, this is definitely it. Like, I'm definitely gonna do this.
And growing up in Trinidad, so we all know you just came back from Trinidad Carnival.
Yes.
And Trinidad Carnival is literally one of the biggest carnivals ever.
Yeah.
So growing up in Trinidad and growing up again around the music, of course the culture, and of course your musical family, walk us through that. Like, what was that like?
That honestly, that was it's such a blessing. Like every time I think about the childhood that I had and what I was exposed to, it's really something beautiful because Trinidad and Tobago is very rich in culture. We have so many things that like we do as people, from like Best Village to Soca Monarch, Chutney Monarch, Panorama, all these things. Like for people who don't know, it's so like it's so big. Different musical backgrounds. Calypso, there's that world, there's the soca world, there's the chutney world, there's the culture where you go into the characters, you go into it's so much that you're really gonna have to come to Trinidad and experience it and understand and learn. But being around my family, they exposed me to all of that, but also they exposed me to another side, the musicality, the instrumentation, just raw, rich creativity that I got firsthand to experience the greatness of that. And I think that's why I was able to learn a lot of things from a young age. So that was
I love that. It was supposed to be in the plans for me to go to Trinidad this year. Me and my friends have been planning to go to Trinidad Carnival since, I guess, high school. I have a lot of Caribbean friends, so we always try to do different things. And Trinidad Carnival has been on our bucket list since forever. So 2026, Trinidad Carnival is gonna see me, all my homegirls. However, you are such a big name in the Caribbean world, but now you're breaking out and becoming international because you're releasing your very first international album called Born a Diamond, BAD. How did you get into that, and when did you know like it was time to do it today?
Well, I always wanted to. It's something that was always a dream of mine, but being from the islands, there are not a lot of opportunities outside. You have to know people, you have to be connected, and I didn't. And I think like my music opened a lot of doors for me, and especially after the pandemic, I spent some time here in America when everything was locked down and there was not much going on, and that was when I released my first album. But again, I didn't have the connections to make the music go further. And I came to New York Fashion Week, and I met a lot of people, and even just doing that trip was like a big deal for me, a dream of mine. And that one thing led to another, and I was signed by an American record label, BMR. um, and that was just the beginning of everything. That was last year. So now we've been working on an album. We were working on the album before I was even signed, and then once the signing happened, we're like, all right, let's do this, let's make it happen, and we're gonna do something special with this album. Whereas it my culture, soca, the Caribbean sound meets America meets the rest of the world, meets Africa, meets Latin America. There's a lot of fusion sounds going in there, and you can really hear where I'm from, but you could really hear where I'm going as well.
I love that. I love that. I definitely can't wait to hear it. It's called Born a Diamond. Fun fact, that's my middle name. So
Oh,
when
really?
I read a recent interview that you said you don't believe that diamonds are made, but they believe that they're born.
Yeah.
When did you come up with that concept?
When, I'm not sure when, but I came up with it because I had in my mind that, like I always wanted to do music, and it was something that I just knew from a young age. I had my first performance at 4 years old. And I remember when I was 2 years old, my mom asked me, like, what do you want to do when you grow up? And I said, I want to be just like you. My mom is a singer, songwriter, musician, composer, fashion designer. She
does it all, y'all. She does it all. Just let them know who your mom is for those who don't know.
My mom is Naila Blackman. She's an amazing artist. And I I felt like, how could a 2 year old know exactly what you know what I mean? And now that I'm here in my life so many years later, I'm like, this was always in me, and I felt like I was born this way, and I just want them to know what way that was, how real bad girl run it.
Okay, y'all heard her. Y'all heard her. So, what was the most exciting part about making this album? Because you've done a lot of music, you've done a lot of collaborations with Kes, with Shensia. So, what was like the best part about making this album?
The best part about making this album, I would say it's traveling doing it. You know, meeting different people, different producers, different songwriters. I mean, going to Philly, connecting with the whole BMR gang, going to Nigeria, even bringing people to my home in Trinidad and Tobago, flying people there, connecting, working, writing. I mean, so many songs we've created and crafted and worked on, and honestly, the creation process is my favorite part. That, I mean, when we get to the stage, that's my second favorite part, when it all comes to life. But that initial stage of where it's birthed is so beautiful for me. Yeah.
And I love that. And I love you talking about being on the stage because, as I said earlier, your energy is just unstoppable. Is like just something that you would have to be a part of to witness, to see. Like my account is just, oh, she's a fan, which I am, but it's just something you have to see. How do you draw from that? Like I know there are days where you probably just don't even feel like going on stage or feel like, being Naila Blackman, the artist. But when you have to do it, like what draws you to kill it on stage every single time?
When I get on stage, nothing else matters. Once I'm on stage itself and I open my mouth, whatever feelings I had before, I'm in front of people, like it no longer exists. It actually makes me feel better every single time, because I would say this carnival gone, I was very sick. Like I had a flu for a long time and I couldn't shake it. I took everything, all the bush remedies, and I just felt like, oh, I'm so tired, I don't want to perform. And I just go on the stage and I don't know what happens, but everything changes.
It's the adrenaline.
The adrenaline. It's the adrenaline. It's just like people would never know. They would never know what I'm going through personally, because I have so much fun doing it. It's so natural and second nature for me, and it makes me feel better every time. So it has to be for me.
I love that. I love that. So let's go back to Born a Diamond.
Yeah.
So I know it's gonna be crazy. America has a lot of Caribbean culture out here. New York, especially Brooklyn. What's up? So what are you expecting fans to pull from this album once it's released and once they hear it?
Well, for the fans, I think they're gonna see a different side of me, and I think they're also gonna get a little deeper into the vibe. But I expect people, the new listeners, to be like, this is something different, this is something unique. And for Caribbean people, understand that the Caribbean sound is ever growing and evolving. And it's not just the one sound that you've known time and time again. Because if you think about every single genre or every culture, it's something that it has to keep growing. It has to keep evolving, and I think that's what I'm doing on this project, and I really want my fans to hear that, identify that, and say, yeah, this is definitely the future. You know what I mean? So that's what I expect them to get from it.
So what is your favorite song that you've recorded for this
Oh my
album?
God, that's like the most. You know what you're asking me to do? You're like saying, "Hey, mom, who's your favorite
Listen,
child?"
you got to pick it. Sometimes it's a difficult thing to say.
that that's the most difficult question for any artist because you can't pick your favorite child.
I mean, you
But
can, but you just have to
okay.
soothe the other ones too. So you
Okay,
can.
I could tell you I could tell you some of my
Okay, you
favorite
could give me top three.
top.
Okay.
Oh, I can't say top three, but I'll try. I'll try
Okay,
my best.
okay.
Limbo. I'm
Mhm.
not even gonna tell you who's on this song. Limbo is one of my favorites. That's a surprise.
Okay.
You'll see who's on the track. Reasons is another one of my favorite. And then Win.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So that's all she's going to give us. So that
Yes.
means y'all have to listen to the album when it comes out. We're going to run these streams up.
Yes.
Listen, summertime is already almost here. It's already nice outside. So it's time to be cleaning your cars, rolling down the windows, and blasting Naila Blackman's album. So, like I said, I mentioned earlier you've had a lot of collaborations. What was your favorite collaboration?
My favorite collaboration. That's as well a different. Why are you trying to set me up?
I'm not. I can tell you mine. I love
Okay.
you and Kes. I just
Okay.
feel like I'm somewhat biased towards Kes because I love him so much. But then you and Shensia as well. Like, it's so many, like I've said, but those two songs I will back is Baddish. Like, what?
Yes.
Everybody's Baddish. Like, it's one of my anthems, one of my theme songs.
One, I wouldn't say this is my favorite collaborations, but one of my favorite collaboration would have to be "Come Home with Skinny Fabulous."
That one
Yeah.
too, yes. And I was at the awards last year. I was there, so congratulations on
Thank
your
you
win.
so
I was
much.
cheering you on so good and bad, but like, you know. I was really, really happy for you because that song literally just like took off. Like, what was that process like? Getting in the studio with Skinny and, you know.
Well, it was a song that I did on my own at 1st,
Mhm.
and I just felt like it was missing something. It was missing someone, and I put it on my album Technique as an interlude without a collaboration. And I wasn't sure like who to put on it. And then when I really thought about who could rough up that song and really give that energy, I was like, oh my God, it have to be him. And when I asked him, he was like, yeah, he didn't even like, I don't even think he listened to the song. I think because I sent him it on WhatsApp, and I could tell by the time he listened like 20 seconds and he was like, yeah, I'm gonna do it now. And I was like, what? And when he sent it back, I was like, this was what it was missing. And it just really, it happened magically because everything about it was just perfect. I really like that song.
That song, it's a beautiful song. Like, you could play it anywhere. It's a clean up to it, a carnival, a party, a concert. I love hearing it live. It's a really a good song to play live. But what is another song you like to play live? Because I know you play instruments.
Yes.
So what is another song you like to like perform live?
Perform live, it depends on if it's a band or if it's me solo, like with my guitar. So I would say Less is one of my songs that I really love to perform on the guitar. And let's say with a band, I feel like for this year, my song Wave is a really good one. Yeah.
Because it gets the crowd.
Yes.
It gets that crowd in the mood in the right moment. So we know you've been to Carnival. We know you've been to lots of carnivals. Besides Trinidad, what other carnivals do you just like, you love going to? Like, it doesn't even have to be a favorite. Like, you just pick as many as you want.
Okay. I definitely love Jamaica. St. Vincent was really good. Caravana is a vibe. I mean, you know the Parkway be lit.
Yeah, the Parkway,
Yeah.
hands down.
Yeah, definitely.
So we gonna see you on the Parkway this year.
Maybe you know I'm always kind of around, but I think last year I didn't go on the Parkway last year, but I'm always around.
You are.
know, so you might see me this year.
Listen, you might see me this year too. Every time I say no, I just get drawn back into it. You might see me
It
this
has
year
that
too.
effect,
It has
right?
that effect on people. So I know you've been to Brooklyn,
Yes,
like just
of
been to
course.
Brooklyn, and you know Brooklyn has a Flatbush itself.
Yeah.
Favorite spot to eat at?
Ooh, sugarcane.
Love sugarcane.
Every
Love
time. Every
sugarcane. Oh
time.
my goodness. What
Yeah.
go to order?
Go to order will be the tamarind shrimp.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now I'm hungry. Listen, now I'm hungry.
Now I'm starved.
Okay.
Why'd you do that? Why'd you do
We always
that?
gotta make it fun here. We always gotta make it fun here. So before I let you go,
Yeah.
can you sing a little something for me off the album or your favorite song to sing just in general?
Well, of course, I have to hit you with my brand new single,
Mhm.
Feels Like Love, featuring Roy Woods from Toronto the 6. Let's go. Feels like love, feels like love, this might be love. I'm never tired for you, put it upon me. Nothing on the side, you and me only. Feel like love, oh, 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 love, oh, oh. Sit back and whine and I feel worry. Take my time when I feel hurry. This might be love, oh, 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 love, oh, oh.
Yeah, woo! I love that. I love that.
Thank you.
Y'all, please make sure that y'all get Naila Blackman's new album, Born a Diamond, BAD, when it hits. This is her first international album that will be debuting in the States, and we could not be more proud of her. Let them know where they can find you at.
You guys can find me on all social media platforms: Instagram, TikTok, X, Facebook, whole 9 yards at Naila Blackman, aka Chili Baby, Real Bad Gal. And make sure and follow me on Spotify and YouTube Music at Naila Blackman Official.
Y'all heard it here first. On that note, it's your girl, Krista B with WBLS, and I'll catch you next time.